Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another interesting knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. This is the Vosteed Thunderbeast utilizing the pivot actuated Vanker lock. Very, very cool lock, very secure lock. There's lots of videos on YouTube of various content creators disassembling knives with the Vanker locks. You guys can check that out if you want to. I won't be doing that here today. It is a very good locking system. Can't wait to check this out. This is an awesome new offering from Vosteed, who's been doing an excellent job throughout all of 2025 and 2024. They were just amazing. This is another really awesome offering, and it is a clear example of a company paying attention to its consumer base, paying attention to what people want. There's just a lot of very obvious elements here that are the result of, Vosteed saying, yeah, we can do that. So very cool. Spoiler alert, this is a really good knife. I'm going to review it. I'm going to tell you what I think, but it's really good. I'll link it down in the description. It is an expensive knife, definitely, but if you've never heard of Vosteed knives, they have lots of offerings in the budget territory, and also a ton of offerings in the premium territory. So check them all out. I'll have this linked down in the description. It'll go to their website. You can browse it if you want to. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's entirely up to you. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me, and make sure your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. Let's go ahead and measure this knife. Overall length of the Thunderbeast is coming in at 8¼ inches, so a full-size knife. Blade length, you could call it 3.65, and I think that's what I'm going to call it too. 3¼ inches of cutting edge. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. Any custom scales you find in this section can be found down in the description under Original Goat and others. Almost the same length as my own large Excalibur. It's about 1/4 inch shorter. The Excalibur is 1/4 inch longer than the Vosteed Thunderbeast. Very similar ergonomic lines. A little bigger than my smaller model. Let's put it up against the Benchmade Griptilian, or in this case, the Ritter Hogue. There it is. And the Hogue Deca. And then finally, we'll put it up. I don't know why we're doing these out of order today. And then finally, the Spyderco PM2 and the Spyderco Para 3. How is the action on this knife? It's very good. It's very satisfying to push the pivot in, which is smooth. It's not crunchy. It doesn't feel sticky or anything like that. It feels really good. It's very, very satisfying button push, which you would think all buttons would be the same. It turns out that there's a lot of variation in terms of how a button on a knife can feel, depending on whether it is attached to a spring, like in a plunge lock, or if it's tension from a bar, like a button-operated top liner lock. And somehow, the pivot-actuated Vanker lock feels different and better than both of those. And it's probably stronger. I mean, it's definitely stronger than the plunge lock. It's probably stronger than top liner locks as well. Very, very cool. Very easy to manipulate, whether you are right or left-handed. Lefties, you'll use your index finger, and righties, you'll use your thumb. But very secure and keeps your fingers out of the path. And there's no exposed, part of, like, it's not a frame lock or anything like that. So squeezing on it doesn't really affect anything, which is awesome. Very easy to manipulate using the reverse flick. You can forward flick it like this. You can do the Spyderco, sort of pinch drop. You can flip it with the flipper tab, which is also great. And then finally, if you want to, you can even use the front flipper, which is just about perfect. Ridiculous number of ways to deploy and manipulate this knife, and they all feel organic and safe and convenient and all of that. It's just wonderful. I really have no complaints about the action. It's awesome. Carry profile thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. You can see here this guy is a little bit thicker. It does have the word beast in the name, but not too big. Length and height up against the PM2 and Para 3. This is a fairly bulky knife to carry, but not a knife that's going to stop me from putting it in my pockets. It's not that big. It might be too big for some people. Let's go ahead and weigh it. What are we looking at for materials? We are looking at not DLC. In this case, on the website, it makes no mention of DLC. It says black stonewash, so some type of PVD coating, most likely. But more importantly, M390 that is hardened from 60 to 62. On the website, it will say 61 plus or minus 1, meaning 1 up or 1 down from 61, or 60 to 62, which is great. This is also a knife that has a coating on it, and they're still hitting those numbers. So I don't like the excuse from any company anymore, even though it does bring the HRC down. There's obviously a way to, make sure, like on their coated ones, right? Maybe they heat treat those higher, or they have some process to make sure that they're higher so that when it is brought down, it's still within the range of 60 to 62. Vosteed is one of those companies that we can all point to and say, you don't have an excuse, X company, Y company, to have this 59 or 58 HRC M390, because Vosteed can clearly do it and is also charging less than you. So thank you, Vosteed, for doing this and allowing us to use you as an example of the right way to do it. That's awesome. So we have titanium, and then we have more titanium, and then we have the pocket clip, which is also titanium. The V-anchor lock itself, I believe, is largely steel, that's what you want. And then you have the PVD coated M390 blade. You can also get it uncoated. I just noticed back here, this might actually fit a large size tritium file. You'd have to use some glue, probably glass glue, to get it in there, and it'll be slightly raised. But I think that can be done. Maybe not. I don't know. You can tell me. I don't mess with a lot of those different sizes of tritium, and some knives have those slots that are clearly meant for that, and some are just more decorative. But anyways, let's weigh it. It does have some internal milling for weight reduction. Sorry, my scale was, I don't know what it was doing. It was tripping out over there. 4.8 ounces. So it's a fairly heavy knife, but not super hulking or anything like that. And balance is right behind the pivot. So very good. I mean, it feels like the appropriate weight. Let's go ahead and do a hardware check. I'll get out my tools as per usual. My tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description that talks about the tools I use on this channel. So we have these two T8 screws that actually go all the way through to the other side of the frame, which is awesome because it means that there is no there's no additional screws over here. It's just two screws and then the screw for the pocket clip, which, by the way, is right hand only, which is a little bit of a bummer. I wish they would put mounting positions for a left-handed pocket clip. Just make the pocket clip symmetrical, but oh well. So you have two screws there, and then for your pivot access, you will very rarely need to do this, right? But if you do want to adjust things, then you'll have to take off the pivot cap here for the Venker lock and the pivot internals. It's a little bit annoying that these are T6 screws, but the way that this is set up, it's very unlikely that you're going to have blade play that you're going to need to adjust out. But if you do need to do that, you've got to take off these T6 screws. Those should be T8, 100%. That is one of... Sorry, we have somebody moving or something around upstairs. Probably one of the kids doing laundry. We're still on Christmas break. It's almost over. But anyways... we have two T6 screws right here, and they should be T8, and they're not, so it's kind of annoying, but okay. As long as you have the right tools for the job, you should be good to go. The Venker lock system is not nearly as intimidating as it looks to take apart, and it comes back together really easily. So anyways, let's measure the blade stock thickness, and then we will move into the meat and potatoes of this review. So the blade stock thickness here is coming in at 135 thousandths or so, middle of the road as far as the knife industry goes, or at least from my perspective. Okay, meat and potatoes. This is a profile that we have seen in a few different ways from Vosteed and various other companies, but it does work, and this knife works really well. For anybody wanting another, we actually have, is the Psyop, the full titanium Psyop, does that have the Venker lock? I feel like it does. Maybe that one's a top liner lock. I can't remember, but a big, burly, full titanium Venker lock knife with super ergonomic lines, a great sheep's foot, blade profile with a lot of belly. Sorry, I've been spitting on this for a little bit, not sure how long. Very easy to manipulate. It just feels like a knife that is ready for work. This is such an awesome, super durable knife. I am not claiming that it has the might and the glory of the Triad lock or the Atlas lock, which are so comically overkill in terms of what you would need from a knife lock. You can hang 3,000 pounds off the... That's cool. What knife task would result in that being the case? I'll tell you, none. So I don't really care so much about that. I do think that it's cool. It just doesn't apply to normal knife use, right? Any knife use within the parameters of what would largely considered to be normal by the vast majority of at least our community, right? Now you go over to TikTok where they're smashing big rocks into smaller rocks, you might get some different opinions, right? Or the guy at the Walmart knife counter might tell you that he took his lawnmower apart with his knife or something like that. Within the perimeters of what would largely be considered normal by our community, this knife is going to handle everything and then some. The blade is going to be awesome for, obviously not the best puncture in the whole world, but it can poke. It can definitely slice. About medium thickness, medium thick behind the edge, but still definitely slicey. And that edge is going to hold on for a long time because, again, Vosteed is heat treating it correctly, in my opinion. The titanium feels great. I think it actually is ever so slightly contoured right here. This area on top does appear flat. And you know what? I'm actually be lying to you. If it's contoured, it is very, very subtle. Doesn't matter, though, because the heavy chamfering gives that impression anyway. So the ergonomic lines are wonderful. The lock-in is great. Personally, I think it would have been cool to add a little texturing here. And perhaps they have another version of this that is textured, and I'm just not aware of it. But honestly, the lock-in on this knife is so good that you don't necessarily need it, and that jimping is wonderful. Hammer grip is pretty good. Choked up grip is awesome. Pocket clip does stop before the halfway point, and it's not super sharp, so not really much of a hotspot issue for me. I love the giant opening hole. This makes it so easy to reverse flick it the way you want to. Put that finger where you want to, right? Or even use, various other fingers. Some of you guys use your index finger to reverse flip these. I find that very difficult to do, but a lot of you guys like to do that. The point is that this knife makes it unbelievably easy to manipulate. And so it is a knife that you can sit around and fidget with, and it's fun. But when it comes time to use the knife, manipulating it in a safe and convenient way and a consistent way is very much important. And being able to do that in gloves too. I mean, because that hole is so large. Now, we don't really ever talk about this, but I do see this periodically, and it's usually the jingling keys folks on YouTube Shorts or TikTok. They say, oh, a giant hole in the blade. Well, when I go to pry with it, it'll snap. Obviously, we can all point out the part of this statement that is a problem. If you're prying with your pocket knife, you're an idiot. You shouldn't be prying with your pocket knife. You should use a pry bar. Well, I can't carry a pry bar around in my pocket everywhere I go. Yeah, you can. They make little EDC ones, and truthfully, the right tool for you is a multi-tool, like a Leatherman or something like that. That has a pocket knife blade on it, but it also has all the other appropriate tools that you would need in that circumstance. There is no one on earth who truly needs their folding knife to also be a pry tool. There is an answer for that, and it's to carry a multi-tool. That's how we do that. So the hole in the blade is not a design flaw, not at all. If you're using a knife for normal cutting tasks, there is zero chance that you're going to snap the blade, and that snapping would be the result of a hole in the blade. So that's the wrong conclusion to come to. But anyways, I like the hole being there because it makes it super easy to manipulate the blade when it comes time for cutting tasks. This will be very good at that. But anyways, being able to use that or completely ignore it and use the flipper tab or the front flipper, right? That's really cool. Of course, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, so there'll be plenty of people who just don't like the fact that it's there, and that's fine. We have too many choices, so you just pick something else. But I think this knife looks awesome, feels awesome, and even though I've seen this profile before, somehow Vosteed just makes it look that much cooler. And I think honestly, just knowing that Vanker lock is there is just really neat. We have the lanyard hole back there, which is completely out of the way and not optimized over the pocket clip. That's the way it should be. We've got a couple little, those little designy things, perhaps a spot for you to, glue in some tritium if you want to. So that's cool. Nothing super special there. We have, obviously the knife does run on bearings. It looks like it might be phosphor bronze, but it's not. Anyways, I'll let you guys take a look actually at the action holding down here. There we go. Very, very good. Your stop pin is located right here, way back here, and there's no shouldering, but you can see right there the impact mark. And then your stop pin location, or the stop pin is also the closed position stop pin, which looks to be interacting with the blade back here. There it is, right there. Can you see that line? So while it is on the plunge grind, it's way back here. That would mean you would have to sharpen all of that material away for that to actually start to affect where the blade is positioned in the closed position. That's why people, if you don't know what I'm talking about, we do not want the stop pin to be, contacting the blade right here, right behind the edge. Now, I used to joke about this and laugh. I used to poke fun at it. I was like, who cares, right? And it was more so the plunge grind itself is where that argument came from. And I don't have to sharpen knives very much, but people who do rely on 1 or 2 or 3 knives and they're sharpening all the time because they use them all the time. A plunge grind that's getting really, really thick or widening out super fast can absolutely be a little bit of a problem. It does not make the knife inoperable. It just makes that area more difficult to sharpen, and it makes it a little ugly over time, right? Which, understandable. A much bigger issue, though, is a stop pin that contacts the blade in an area where if you sharpen the blade past that point, then in the closed position, the blade is basically lower and lower and lower because that stop pin is contacting an area where you keep removing material. And this becomes an issue because eventually the blade or the sharpened portion is so low inside the frame that it's actually contacting the back of the frame. And that means your blade's going duller and duller and duller every single time you close it, which is stupid. So it's nice that Vosteed at least positioned their stop pin way back here. You would have to remove years and years and years and years of material in order to get back to that point, right? At least the average person, right? And even somebody who uses their knives a lot. I think that is a totally okay position for the stop pin to contact. Preferably, we don't get it anywhere near the cutting edge, right? And honestly, I like stop pins that don't engage on the plunge at all, but at least this one is way back here, so that's fine. Pocket clip, it's a little bit of a little bit too pointy under here. I wish it was more of just like a casual, like on Kunwu. I know I'm using my own knife here, but I think the way that Kunwu does it under here is the best. I did not design this clip. Kunwu designed this clip, and we decided together that this clip was far superior to the one that I designed, which ironically was much closer to this clip that I'm criticizing, right? But no, this clip is fine. It's just a little bit pinchy as a result of that material being kind of pointy underneath the pocket clip. So, but yeah, lockup obviously is bank vault solid, and there is no lock stick. There is no pivot lash. It is nice and smooth. Here, I mean, it drags a little bit if you don't have the button pushed down, but when you've got the button depressed, it's ridiculously smooth. It's glassy, oily smooth. Very good. Click into the closed position, which is nice. And then do we have perfect centering? Yes, we do. No detent lash either. This is a $250 knife, and it is worth every penny. Does everybody need to spend $250 to get a good knife? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But as far as what I expect from a $250 knife that is being sold in the sort of premium production market, this checks all of the boxes. It's got all of the stuff that I would expect and then some, plus the super strong locking system. One thing that people need to watch out for is left-handed people. When you are choked up, you're going to be applying pressure to that pivot lock there. Now, I think it requires more pressure than is what you would normally apply to it, because the button does not disengage the lock until it is sunk below this pivot collar here. So you would have to really apply a lot, but as you can see here, I can do it. So you need to be careful. If you are right-handed, it's not likely that it's going to happen, but choked up, you do have your index finger right on top of that button. So it is also still something that right-handed people have to be aware of, right? So when you're choked up, you need to make sure that your index finger is not on top of that button. We've talked about this before, and I think it probably would be cool if Vosteed, implemented some sort of safety system in the open position so that people could go ahead and choke up on it and just engage the safety so that the button would not allow the knife to disengage until you decided to turn the safety off. I think, though, most people are just going to find it convenient to just not put their finger there. Like, I can see myself going, yeah, I'll just choke up on it like this and keep my index finger off of that button, right? But you cannot really effectively do a full hammer grip in the choked up position and use this knife without the blade disengaging. So you need to be cognizant of that. Outside of that, this is a fine knife. $250 for properly heat-treated M390, a titanium frame, beautiful action, beautiful execution, and the incredibly strong and reliable Vanker lock, I think, is perfectly fair. Highly recommendable knife. Definitely pick it up. You will really enjoy it. Thanks again to Vosteed for sending this in. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.